Salman. Oh my God, this is a really big day for me. We have collaborated with Democracy News Live, and I'm very excited about it because this is our first show together. And I'm going to have Rohit Gandhi actually on my show today. He's an international award winning journalist, and I'm so happy to have him here giving his expert opinion on all these amazing topics that I've been able to bring to you. And you do know that today I also have a very special guest, Nomita Kohli, that is going to be joining us. She is one of the most sought after interior designers of our country. And I'm going to talk to her about design trends and creating comfort zones because, as we know, this is the new normal. So things have changed. But let's start with Rohit Gandhi joining me. And I would like to thank him personally on the show. Thanks so much, Rohit, for joining me.
Oh, thank you. And as soon as you told me it's design and it's spaces, I was excited. I was like, all right, I want to be part of this because our lives are all, just literally surrounded with spending time in great spaces and enjoying great spaces.
Yes, and I think we've all been stuck at home, and it's so important to have a clean and a happy environment, considering the mind is a bit cluttered right now with all that's going on. So, Rohit, you've been doing this for such a long time, and I know that you are one of the most well read people that I know, and I'm so happy to collaborate with you. I want you to share your thoughts on how do you see the situation now in the coming times in the new normal as far as the design trends and interiors are concerned. We will get, of course, our guest later, but I want your opinion and your thoughts on that before we get started.
I think from my perspective, and somebody who really enjoys space and somebody who really enjoys, spending good time in great space, is that even though the money is going to be a little less for everybody right now, but people are going to realize that their real world is within their little tiny spaces. And our homes, where we live or where we travel to, our own personal spaces are going to become more and more important. Earlier, we could just land up in a great hotel and phenomenal space. People have spent money and energy maintaining it. But now that's not going to be easily available because people are going to be scared getting into a hotel. It's not an easy task going into one. It's just going to be, people are going to be worried going to a hotel. So there are going to be more and more spaces people are going to begin creating for themselves where it's more private. They're sure what kind of an interaction they're going to have with the materials they're going to touch and the people they'll meet. So it's going to become our center, really. And if you do not have a great, comfortable home, beautifully done up, you're not going to be wanting to spend 24 hours of the day there. So that whole concept of, even the youngsters living in one small tiny room and then going and working all day and then coming back only for a few hours to sleep in their small little homes is not going to work. This is going to be your space most of the time for as many people as possible. So I think we're going to spend a tremendous amount of time in that space, and we'll make it as very comfortable and we'll make it beautiful. Otherwise, we'll have a lot of depressed souls.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be fun to actually bring Nomita and ask her what she's actually doing now, right? So it'll be fun to hear her opinion on what is going to happen. And she's in the middle of the action, any which way. And I know that you're working on the whole interior story as well. Oh my God, my guest is here. I see her. Nomita, awesome to have you here today. Thanks so much for joining Rohit and me.
Thank you so much
Hey,
for having
Nomita,
me, guys.
lovely to have you here as well. And, honestly, I've seen some of your work and it just stands out
Thank you
amazingly,
so much. Thank you
the
so much.
detailing that goes in. And I'm
Honor.
sure you both will have a great conversation. And I'm going to join you later in the show after you've had your little round with Shalini. Shalini, I know,
Yeah,
will get the
looking
best out of
forward.
you. Look forward. All right.
Thanks, Ram. Rohit, see you in a bit. Nomita, it's you and me.
Yeah, hi Shalini, how are you?
Good, good, good. Are you working or are you chilling? What's going on? What's the story?
So,
My God, how things have changed.
so work is going on, but it's like, I mean, it's difficult times. We're kind of working partly from home. I'm partly working from office. Sometimes I get to my sites. I sometimes get to the factory, but it's not, and nothing is really regular right now. Nothing is really moving in a particular direction. So I guess we're trying to catch as much normalcy as we can out of this mad situation, and trying to forge forward.
Yeah, I know. I hear you because, things have changed dramatically. People that loved entertaining in their homes and people who would wake up in the morning and get out of the house and, get on with their life are suddenly stuck in these places. So I think the entire story of, and I did mention to you that we want to talk design trends and, creating comfortable spaces for everybody and comfort zones. So I want you to tell us now because you're going to have to obviously come up with a whole different ball game as far as designing homes is concerned because people are thinking differently, and also the office spaces where you were doing open spaces, everybody sitting and hanging out together is going to change with the entire social distancing norms going forward for a while now. It's going to be for a while. So what are the things that you have come up with, Namita, in your company, in your organization? What are the decisions you have made?
Okay, so the first thing that I'd like to share with you, and pretty much like what Rohit said, is that our homes are going to become central to our lives now. We've earlier had the opportunity of going out to a restaurant to go and eat because we're bored of eating the food at home. We've had the opportunity of going to a bar to have a drink because you want to hang out with some friends over there. You have the opportunity of going to see a movie outdoors. So there is a lot of place where you've been able to get away from your quintessential home, which used to be a place where you left in the morning, you went for work, you came back in the evening, and then you were, either you got ready to go out again, or then you were just exhausted and you just went to sleep after a quick dinner. For people who are working, especially, and I'm talking about myself, I find, and this I think is what is going to happen, is people's homes are going to become very central to their lives. It is going to become central to entertaining. It is going to become central to, and when I say entertaining means it's going to be central to even two people coming over. So it has to be a comfortable place. It has to be a clean environment. We have to keep the social distancing in mind. We have to keep cleanliness in mind. We have to keep all the sterilization things in mind. And there are a lot of things that people are going to need to do, which is actually going to become a new normal. You will actually need to keep a bottle of sterilizer at the entrance of your house and say, guys, you have to sterilize your hands before coming in. Or you will have to tell somebody that take off your slippers or take off your shoes before you come in. So that is what the new normal is going to be. Having said that, some of the things that even within our own homes right now, things that we can make a change with, and with something that I'm doing and I'm practicing. I've been working from a lot of the rooms in my house. I've been trying to get a feel of each room, see where I got my inspiration initially to work on that room from. And I find that I'm really enjoying being back in spaces that I hadn't explored earlier. I'm also doing some small things like I'm changing a little bit of furniture around. I've moved a couple of paintings around. It's given a fresh look and a fresh feel to the whole place. And I think that in itself is something that everybody can do at home. You don't need to call a person like me in right now to say that come and change our interior design or come and change our interiors. You can actually do something fun and funky of your own. You can pick up cushions from one room, take it into another room, change the color palette completely. So you're actually going to be able to see something really fun coming out of the space that you have. A couple of interesting things. I had a client of mine who called me up and said, you know what, in my family, there's a wedding and I really don't know what to do. So I said, right. I said, let's do one thing, that let's make something interesting out of it. Create a little alfresco dining, in your home, maybe outside where 5-6 people can sit, create a little push cart as a trolley, which can double up as a bar unit if you don't have a bar unit. So stuff like that, which is little bits, and they become areas onto themselves. And there's an integration of one space into the other space, so kind of blending it in and bringing it together.
Wow, what a great idea. But I do have to disagree with one thing that you said. You said that you don't have to necessarily get in an expert like you to make these subtle changes. But I do feel that if you did get in an expert like you, even to do minor changes, because we have a particular mindset and we keep going with the same style and the same look because that's how we are as humans. So if you do bring in that expert opinion, even for these small changes, it could just freshen up life and give you a whole different perspective. So that's the part I was not going to agree with you, Namita. We do need experts like you in the story. What I want to ask you is that I feel that interior designers are psychiatrists because you've got to read minds before you can actually do homes. And even if you aren't, you I would want you to be one because I want you to read my mind. So thinking that when you go in to meet a client, what are the typical first 5 questions that you would ask a client just to understand that person before you took on the project or gave them the first set of design? What would be the first 5 questions?
So that's very interesting, Shalini, because I actually have a set of 20 questions that I play with every client when I meet them. It ranges from some regular questions like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite room, what's your favorite pastime, what do you do? But then I also want to get into their psyche and I want to understand. So I ask them, what's your favorite TV program? What's the last place you visited and what did you take away from it, or what did you enjoy about it? What are your have you ever done something, something mad in your home? And if you have, what is that one memory that you have that you feel that is a memory that you would like to share or that you cherish? If you're moving from an old home to a new home, is there anything that in particular you have liked of an old piece of furniture or an artifact or something that you feel that you really can't do without? So when you work these questions, you actually get into the mind of the client. And, very often my husband tells me, he said, you've started talking differently, you behave differently, because I actually go into the psyche of my client and I start behaving like them. I start talking like them. There are certain enunciations that I'll have. There are certain words that are repetitive. But yeah, I think it's very important to be able to get to that stage. And on a more serious note, it's important to get to that stage because, Shalini, it's very easy for me to create a house that Nomita Kohli enjoys. But it's very difficult for me to create a home that Shalini Kocher is going to want to live in and is going to want to come back home every day and say, thank you so much, because this is my perfect place. It's my perfect mandir and it's my perfect temple. It's the place that I want to actually be in all the time.
We thought that only actors had. Can you hear me? Okay, I thought maybe
Yeah.
signal. We thought that the actors were the only people that had to get into the role, but I guess even interior designers have to get into their heads and then work from there, which is awesome. Now let's talk about your company. So when you actually take on a project, what are all the services that you would offer? Like, where do you begin and where do you end the entire package?
Yeah, so we have two verticals in our company. I'll first tell you about the first one. So I'm an interior designer. I've been practicing design now for the past 30 odd years. I started off manufacturing kitchens and from there on moved into furniture, moved into interior spaces and moved into furniture. And then I actually taught myself. I did a couple of courses. I've done some courses in Lux Levels. I've done some courses in 4-stone and plaster finishing. So it's a constantly evolving process. But I learned some stuff and I came along to the stage where I am today. So today we are able to offer you services from paint finishes to soft furnishings to complete interior designing to just consultancy to a design and build to even we have architects on our panel. So we can give you an entire package depending on what you want. So it's not that you came to me and said, oh, I want one piece of furniture that you will be dealt with any less importance than if you came to me and said, I have a 40,000 square foot home and I want you to design that for me. So, we have the capacity to handle or to be with everybody on the same kind of plane. Our second vertical, about maybe 10 years ago, I found that there were a lot of my clients who wanted to buy imported furniture, who wanted to get in the good Italian designs, Spanish designs, but basically into European designs. Having done that, and they're also clients who travel a lot, and they've been exposed to 5-star living, they've been exposed to cultures internationally, they travel, some of the best, to some of the best places. So I think when they came to me and spoke to me and said that they would like to have stuff which was a replication of what you could get overseas, the kind of design philosophies, is when I decided that it was time to start bringing in not only the Indian furniture that we manufacture, but also furniture from overseas. So my husband and about maybe 10 years ago. Shalini, have I lost you? Yeah.
I'm right here.
Okay, sorry.
Can
No,
you hear
there
me?
was a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
So we started that. So from there, what we do is we represent about 18 European brands pan India, uh, and they cater to a varied of genre of taste. You can go from the classic to the neoclassic to modern, contemporary. We also have a lighting brand with us. We also have a brand that deals in fabrics. We can give you a complete palette, and also you can give us a budget. So we start at a budget and we can try and bring it together so that you get an amalgamation of everything. We also do logistics and support. So that kind of is part of the package. So you get like white glove delivery of your furniture to your homes.
Wonderful. So you are that one-stop shop. We can get it all there and say, we've got
Totally.
Nomita Kohli on board now. Now, this is my hot seat question. And I just wanted to not ask you this question on the phone, but ask you on a Facebook Live. Um, I've known you in the social scenario for the longest time. And no matter what party may happen in Delhi, there is not one where you're not invited, first of all. So clearly, you have the most amazing network. And the second thing that I've always noticed about you whenever I've seen you is that you always stand out. You have this entire charisma about you, and you stand out at a party the minute when I look at you. So what is it that you do differently where your business is concerned to be different from the others in the business that you're in?
First of all, Shal, I just want to tell you thank you so much, because I think that was the best compliment I've ever received. And I hope my kids and my husband are watching, and they know what a fabulous person I am. But okay, so as far as work is concerned, Shal, I think what I have always kept in the back of my mind is, which I think a lot of us do, is we have to be completely true to our trade. But like I said, I want to get inside my client's mind and inside their brain. I need for them, when they come to me, to completely switch off. So being hands on is one thing, but I need for them to completely switch off. So I'll tell you a really cute story that happened. Years ago, I handed over a site to a client, and at about 9:30 at night, I get a call saying, I forgot in my cupboard, is the fourth drawer meant for the socks or is the second drawer meant for the socks? So that's how dependent my clients get on me. And that's only because I actually come to the front and take it all and say, you know what, sit back, enjoy the ride, and let me do the dirty work and put the piece together for you. So I think if you say one thing that I do is that I'm completely accessible to my clients at all time, and this is the one thing I do. I just get inside their brain.
I love it. I love it. Gotta learn a lot from you, I have to say. So what is going on right now is that while we've been worrying about the immigrants running away and everybody is going away, everybody has gone. So what are you doing right now with the labor having left? How are you handling getting back to work?
Yeah, so that's a bit of a challenge. It's not only a challenge in the factory, which I've been fortunate enough to get some of my labor back, and the reason also why they've come back is because we are housing them in the factory now. We're taking care of their meals. We're taking care of their medical. We're making sure that they've got masks. We're making sure that all their hygiene is taken care of. Sterilization, all of that is done. The factory, we do fogging in the factory, once a day, in all the areas that wherever there has been outside interaction. I have to say that my boys have been very good. I have about, like I said, about 60 or 70% of my force back, but I do have a lot of people missing, and some key elements are missing. Some of my key polishers are missing. But you know what? This is a tough time, and we are getting through it, and I'm sure we will manage. Um, as far as the office is concerned, because we are working from home, I do have two of my people who come into office every alternate day, and I go into office every alternate day, and I try and catch up with them and catch up with their work. The rest of the team we've had, and I'm very technologically challenged, so it's been quite an uphill struggle. But I've got the rest of my team wired to be able to work remote control from home, and they send their stuff to me. So I'm also learning new skills, as a matter of fact. So I'm picking up how to do Zoom calls. I'm picking up how to check stuff online, how to do share screen. All of that is happening. So yeah. So as far as the office is concerned, that is what's happening. As far as the clients are concerned, that's a little tricky, because sites have not really started, because they're not really operational. A lot of the buildings where we are doing work, some of the buildings have not really allowed staff to come in yet. Some of them have, but they say that you can only bring in 5 people at a time. Now, when you're doing a complete design and build, on a large floor plate, it's very difficult to be working on a shorter staff. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to do work outside of the premises. So we're doing a lot of the finishing at the factory, and then we're going to be taking it in to the site, and we're going to be doing more fixing over there. So those are some of the changes which are going to happen now.
Wonderful. I want you to give our audience something to take back with them by telling them how they can create a comfort zone in the current scenario. And also, the outdoors are very important. So, give us something related to how they can create a green environment, even in apartments, in the balconies. Rohit is back. Rohit, is there something you want to add to this question?
Yeah, no, you just ask that, and then I want to ask Nomita about her getting into the client's head.
You were listening. I can see you were listening. So, Nomita, I want the audience to have something to take back from it of how to, in the current scenario, make it a comfort zone for themselves.
So, one of the things that you spoke about, Shalini, you said, what are the design trends? So, I'd just like to touch on that. And I'd like to say that there is one of the trends which is coming back internationally also is sustainability. It's recycling and upcycling. So a lot of people in India, we already have a secondary market for it. So people are already, selling their old furniture. People go out and buy secondhand furniture, and things like that are happening. But internationally now, people are not junking their furniture. They are actually recycling it and upcycling it, which I think is a very good trend. And this is an international trend that is happening. It's happening in the US. It's happening in Europe. And it's very heartening to know that we are actually we're becoming responsible people of the earth. And we're looking at sustainability as an important part of our profession, where it's very important for us, to be able to buy new furniture and put new furniture in. But we've still got sustainability is still becoming a very important aspect of us. That's one thing. The second thing that I wanted to share, which is an amazing, which is fabulous, is something called where you have the greenery coming into your homes, and it's called biophilic gardens. So you actually have you can bring in, you can set aside certain areas. Wall treatments can be done like this, where you can have a wall garden, and this is being used in offices. Ceiling gardens are being used even in in offices, in hospitality, in airports. But I'm talking more about homes, because homes is more where my forte is. Even if you live in a flat in an apartment, try and create a green area. Try and bring a couple of plants into your home. You'll be amazed. Research has actually shown that plants and nature actually have a very positive effect on your health, on your mental well-being, on the way that you are as a person. So try and bring in a couple of plants into your room. Try and bring in some flowers into your home. If you can't do that, try and even bring in some artificial flowers into your home. Anything that gives you a little bit of a feel of nature. It doesn't, if you can't do that, even having, research has even shown that even having a wallpaper on your computer screen of nature, it could be a forest, it could be it could be a brook of running water. Even that is very positive. So anything, whether it is direct or indirect, one can do to bring in that kind of change and bring nature into your homes.
Very well said, Nomita. So they say that if you spend 15 minutes in nature every day, you can actually take away antidepressants. And also the sound of water in your house is very calming for your mind. So I live by the sea, so I actually hear and see the water, which is actually super calming. So yes, it's very good to have some sort of a waterfall as well, and also yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to add one more thing. So years ago, I read a poem by a metaphysical poet called Andrew Marvell. And in that he says, annihilating all that is made to a green pot in a green shade. And green actually is the color of prosperity. It is the color of, of reproduction. It is the color of nature. So it's one of the colors that I always play with in a house. So I just wanted to.
It's our background
Yeah.
today, the green. Rohit, are you coming on to ask the question, or should I put it on the hot
Absolutely,
seat?
absolutely,
There you
absolutely.
are.
And I was listening in, and honestly, the things you hit upon, Namita, about green nature, I think everybody wants to see it today. But I'm more interested in finding out, how do you get into people's head, and how is it that you are able to keep your own head out of overpowering their head? Because I think that's one of the bigger challenges. You fall in love with the project and you really love it, but their need may be different and your whole sensibility may be different on what they want. How do you balance that?
Right. So that's a good question. I actually am a chameleon when it comes to design. I don't believe I have the correct answer for design. I believe that there is a design that Rohit likes, and that is the correct design. I believe that there's a design that Shalini likes, and that's the correct design. So, as a designer, it is my key role to be able to understand where you are coming from and to be able to give you exactly what you want. Of course, I have to admit, I do sharpen up corners a little bit, and I will say that, okay, this color doesn't work, or this piece of art doesn't work, or I don't think that this particular bed is the correct look for this room. But by and large, it is important, like I said, to make the client feel completely at home, because it has to be their home. It has to be a reflection of their space and it has to give them the feeling of coming home. Rohit, there is something where if you, my first thing that I tell somebody when they said, oh, I don't know what color I want, if you go into your cupboard, take out a couple of your clothes, put them out on the bed, and see what is the color that you like best. That's the color that you're going to live with. And once I know, so those are some of the things that you need, which is why I play my 20 questions. Because if I don't play the 20 questions, I will never know. And I may be guided by my lack of knowledge of the particular client to be able to give them what they want.
So here is a naughty question. Now that
Sure.
people are going to be spending so much time in their spaces, which are going to be called home, how do you have fun spaces?
Yeah, good point. So it's very fun spaces could be put down to a lot of things. If you have a home where you have children, then definitely fun needs to be quantified and has to be, PG rated. But definitely, it is important to have some kind of a craft area in your home, and I think it's very essential. All of us love to create. Nobody can say that I don't like creating. Now you are creating a different line, and a different way that people are actually approaching interaction. Somebody may enjoy creating and doing a jigsaw puzzle. Somebody may enjoy knitting. Somebody may just enjoy watching television and doing their own creativity in their own ways. So make a space which is your creative space. You must have everybody in the house, because now we are all living together. You must have a me corner, must have a me area, which is complete sanctum sanctorum to you. Nobody else should be able to step into that zone when you're there. Once you've done that and you have your area where you interact with the rest of the family, which could be your dining area or your living areas, and then you have your little craft area where people get together and you can do fun stuff together. Like I've actually got together, our kids don't live with us anymore. So, and I have two lovely girls who work for me. So we've actually collected all the candle wax that we had for over the years that my girls have been collecting and saying, we'll make a candle one day. We've made candles with little potpourri in it. We made candles with broken bits of glass in it. So we've done some fun stuff like that. And even just doing that was so therapeutic for all of us in those initial 60 days when there was the fear and you can't step out, you can't do anything. It was so therapeutic. So I really feel that that is one thing that everybody should do.
So
And
it's that this sounds like the me space sounds like your throne, Shalini,
Yeah, oh
and
my
that you have. She's got a throne to sit on, and I for now have a new word to describe where I want to be. I want a craft space. Is it? That's what
yes,
we're going to be
God.
talking
yes.
about. Whatever the craft
And
may be.
what do I do on the throne? I sit on the throne and play online poker. So that's my recreation.
Whatever works, Shal, because I'm actually like, I'm a complete Gilmore Girl, Friends kind of person when I'm watching TV. But these days, I'm actually stepping out of that comfort zone and I'm doing some other fun stuff. So I'm actually watching some stuff on YouTube. I'm watching how they have. So when my son was little, he had something called a transformer, which was, it was like a robot, and it transformed into, into a truck. It transformed into a building, and I'm actually seeing these things happening, on real life, and people are taking out, like containers and transforming them into travel homes. So you have a container which actually transforms into a home, and every 3 years you pick that up and you move to a new locale completely. So you could have a home by the sea, and you could have a home in the hills, and you could have a home in the center of the city. And I think it's fantastic. So there's a lot of stuff going on out there that is really interesting.
Yeah, so
Wow,
Rohit,
well,
Namita has 20 questions that she asks her clients. How about we asked her the 15 questions that we thought of, the rapid fire that we were talking about, because that's like the most fun part of our show. So, Rohit, I think you have some of the questions as well. So I'm going to ask her, there are 15 of them, Namita. I'm going to ask you the first 9, and then Rohit, you're going to ask the rest of them. Let's make it fun. Let's do this. So this is the Get to Know Namita section. Now, the question 1, your design style, modern, contemporary, Scandinavian, or something else?
Eclectic.
What do you like, fabric or leather?
Fabric.
Look good or be comfortable?
I don't think they're autonomous of each other. I have to look good and be comfortable, but I have to look good. And my place has to look good.
Yeah, so for you, it's got to be both, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
So I'm actually inspired maximum by my guys who work in my tree, who work at my sites. I find that they bring their own stories to the place, but they come with so much energy and they come with so much enthusiasm each day. Some of them are daily wage, workers, but they come with so much enthusiasm. And here I am, and I know so much is happening in my life, and I have so much, I have a home to go back to. They don't even know, but they come with the same amount of enthusiasm. So I think that's my inspiration.
Awesome. Who do you enjoy following on social media other than me?
So on social media, I actually, I follow you, by the way, I really do. But I enjoy following a lot of architects, international architects. So I can't really say that there's one particular person, but yeah, I do follow a lot of stuff like that.
Okay.
I
For your
follow a lot
business,
of
which
cooking channels. So I follow a lot of cooking channels these days because I'm trying to learn how to cook again. So yeah, I do that also.
okay. Rapid, Norms, rapid. For your
Sorry,
business, which social media platform do you think is the best?
sorry, I didn't get that.
For your business, which social media platform do you think is the best?
Instagram. Sorry,
Texting
Facebook.
or talking?
Talking. 100% talking.
Talking. How long do you take to get dressed?
An hour.
If you could trade lives with one person for a day, who and why?
That would have to be my puppy Chloe, and because she's the most pampered living being that I have ever seen in my life.
So sweet. Rohit, I'm going to ask this last one because it's one of my favorite questions. And because I know her friends, I have to ask this question. Name friends in these categories. Interesting.
You're going to get me killed for this one, but this one,
I will.
interesting, I'll definitely say you.
Oh,
Hands down.
thank you. Your 4 a.m. friend.
So my 4 a.m. friend, most of my 4 a.m. friends are sleeping in Delhi. So my kids would be my 4 a.m. friend. But yeah, I think they're my best mirror. Yes.
Okay, funny.
I better not say this because she'll shoot me.
Okay. So you're not?
No.
Okay, drinking buddy. Drinking
Oh,
buddy.
my sister.
High EQ.
High EQ, I would say my husband. And I know it sounds cliche,
Inspiring.
but honestly, I think he is.
Inspiring.
For that, I would have to reach out to my friend Dilshad Master. I think I have yet to see somebody who has been able to, move forward and bash on in her life the way she has. So kudos to her.
Awesome. Awesome. Rohit, I'm going to let you ask the final four.
All right. So, favorite place for a vacation?
Favorite place for a vacation would be anywhere in Italy. Anywhere.
Favorite clothing on a daily basis?
Jeans. White shirt and jeans.
Favorite formal?
Sorry, favorite?
Favorite formal clothing?
Oh, formal clothing. LBD, the little black dress.
Best shoes in the world?
The ones that are the most comfortable.
The best furniture, design, what kind, what style?
So that's a difficult one. I can't do this in a rapid fire, but I would say, for me, I think Art Deco is the style that that I have a leaning preference to.
Favorite painting style?
Um, that's a difficult one because there are a lot of styles. I love what Raza does. I love some of the international artists, but I think anything with color is what I really enjoy.
All right.
Awesome. Should we ask her the final one? Should we ask her the final one of the message that she wants to give the audience?
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the message I'd like to send out today to everybody is no matter what the times are like, keep your positivity about you, put your positivity out in the universe, and believe me, the universe is going to come back and give it to you in manifold. Shalini, I've seen a picture and it's a Shah Rukh Khan movie, and I know you're a Shah Rukh Khan fan, so I know you're going to like this. It says, जब तुम किसी चीज को दिलो जान से चाहो तो पूरी कायनात इकट्ठा हो जाती है, something to give it to you, basically, and that's what you need to do. You need to put it out in the universe, and the universe is going to give it back to you. So have faith, guys, and things are going to be the way you want them.
Oh, that is so true. That is so true. And thank you for quoting Shah Rukh Khan in my show because, you've touched my heart now. Nomita, it's been so much fun to have you on this show with Rohit and me today. This was a big day of collaboration for all of us. And with you, it couldn't have been a better guest because we were just shooting out questions to you, whatever Rohit wanted and whatever I wanted, and you just dodged us and caught it and did all the right things. So thank you so much for being here today. And I think that all of us need a happy place, right? And Nomita, you create that happy place for people. May it be your home or may it be your office. Here's someone who gives you that happy place, and why not? Rohit, your finishing lines about Nomita and the show today.
Namita, it's the whole concept of space, and people have begun to value it more. And with people such as yourselves, you kind of create a whole world for people, and what they would envision and dream of, and you build that, and that's something amazing. So thank you for showing us what really matters to people and how you're able to collaborate with people's ideas and marry them and take them ahead. So thank you for really inspiring us at many, many levels. And
thank you
hopefully
so much.
we'll see you soon.
Thank you, and all the best for this new, for this new venture that you guys have got together and this new collaboration that you have. And I'm sure you guys are going to do fabulously, and you're going to have great people come on the show with you.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you all for watching from Democracy News Live and from Shalinisays WineShineQuarantine. Keep watching, and we will be... Rohit, should we keep chatting? Do you think people are still watching us? Because you've changed the whole format.
Of course we should. And
but that was super fun and super informative, I thought. There's a lot of take back from this show today, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, and I think the idea of all design and spaces and what it does to our lives is tremendous. It changes who we are. I literally spend the whole weekend in a jungle because I want to get my head into a cleaner space to think new ideas. And I think that's what good space does. People such as Nomita really add value. And, the whole idea of you bringing on Nomita onto the show, I think is phenomenal. It just it's going to be more fun. It's going to make people's lives better. And that's the whole idea of our life as well.
Yes, that is the idea, that Rohit and me are going to bring you some amazing leaders who are going to share insights with us as often as we can. We're still in the process of deciding the dates and dates, etc. Because today was the first trial show of us collaborating, and I think it's been super fun. And Rohit, looking forward to working with you, and good fun.
Okay.
Keep watching, guys.
All right.
We are here.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.